You see the fire burn. Fire burn up the way your man shine. Fire burn, and better learn. And everything out there you feel burn. Fire burn up the way your man shine. Fire burn, and better learn. And everything out there you feel burn.
Hello.
Hey, what's happening, Captain?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Over all
That's
this beautiful reggae
better.
music?
I
Okay,
hear
good.
it.
Good. Yeah. I hope you like reggae. I always like to set the tone. Set the tone with some reggae.
Reggae is my favorite. I got married in Jamaica.
Oh, so this don't bother you at all?
Bother me? You can't have life without reggae music. What's going on, people?
People. Y'all know how I do.
Yes, I'm just going to turn my light on because I look dark, right?
Yeah, but your energy is radiant, so you good.
Okay, let me turn my light on.
Nah, you look good. Can't feel street in the building. What's up, Tracy?
I'm going to put my glasses on so you can see. How's that? Fire burn. Hello, everyone. I see everybody's coming on. Hello. I'm loving this. Y'all about to be all up in my business. Hey, Sasha, girl.
So for everybody who's new to the show, to LUNIC show, this is all about LUNIC. All my guests is about them. So welcome to your show. But
okay,
I love setting the tone with reggae music. I used to GT Bana, you know what I mean? My family just come from Georgetown, Guyana.
You're done.
I love my Caribbean culture, so I just play the music every chance I get, you know.
Ooh, what about that accent? Okay.
You know. I could turn it on. I could turn it on and off like a light switch, you know.
Got you. I see some people joining in. What's up, everybody? Hey, Raymond.
Yeah. We
James.
got, you know.
Okay.
It should be a nice time.
Yes, I'm excited.
Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm gonna give people a couple of more minutes to come in here.
Say hello. Give me some hearts, some stars, some love. I need some energy, y'all.
Let's get it going.
Sasha, Diana.
Let's go. Hey, GT Bana, Sasha, yes. So blessed. Make sure you follow me at the TKB report. You know.
Yes.
All right. So.
I'm excited. I love you too, Sasha.
They go to love. Hey,
what'd you say?
All right, so we're gonna change it up a little bit, you know, because we got a lot to talk about, and I would hate to run out of time.
Good evening, everybody. Too bad on Instagram you can't hit the share button on Instagram, right?
You know what? Let me tell you something. I'm ashamed to say that. I just hired my nephew, and I got an intern today from Bloomfield College. That's really going to help me. You know, that's one of my former interns, but he still works for me now, Malik Pollux, who is going to be social media management. You know, because this is ridiculous that I'm doing this, and I'm old. I'm an old head, old school.
You know what? Nope. Knock it off. Royal Priest, what's going on? It's been so long since I chatted and talked to so many of you guys. I'm excited that they're joining us. Listen, we're going to figure this out. I know on Facebook, people could hit the share button. They can hit the share button. I don't think that that's the case on Instagram. So we're going to have like a really dope conversation. You about to get all up in my business, I heard.
So ladies and gentlemen, let's get right to it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You are now tuned in to the TKB Report. I'm your host, K. Langevine, otherwise known as Mr. Three Keys, Crunch in the building. And today's guest is truly a pioneer. She's truly a distributor of light and goodness. Her resilience is a true testament to just how great God is.
All right.
Her fearlessness has led her to inspire many with the new venture that she's has taken on in her life. In commemoration of Women's History Month, it is my pleasure, it is my honor to welcome LUNIC the Messenger, the first Black female business owner to have space in New Jersey, one of New Jersey's prominent malls, prominent retail spaces. You know, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to her show.
My show.
Welcome to her show, Miss LUNIC, the Messenger, aka the CEO, founder, creator of God is Great Apparel.
Let me see some hearts and some claps and some hearts and some claps. I'm like, who are you talking about? Who are you talking about? Hi, everybody. This is so exciting. First, let me just say thank you so much for having me on. With my life being so insane and so crazy and my schedule being so bonkers, I was like really trying to figure out how I was going to do this.
Well, let me say that, you know, knowing that, you know, running a business, whether it's online, whether it's mobile, whether it's you know, in a brick and mortar, whether it's in a physical space, is extremely taxing and it is extremely time consuming. So I am grateful that you took the time out to have this conversation with me, because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a conversation about, you know, your amazing life and just life in general, you know. So I tried to do my best with introducing you to the world. Why don't you just give the people who you are?
You just did a great job. You did a great job.
Thank you so much.
I'm a servant. I am a servant. I am here to serve. My job is to do what God has called me to do, nothing more, nothing less. I believe that we all have been called to greatness. We all have been called to do something so amazing, so phenomenal. And I'm excited that I found my calling and that I'm discovering, and I'm still discovering, you know, I'm still in the discovery process. So I am the owner, founder, creator of God is Great Apparel. I'm also the founder of an amazing nonprofit called A Day at a Time, NJ, everything located here in New Jersey. And I'm so excited to be the first Black female, Haitian female, to own a chic spiritual brand inside of one of the biggest malls in the tri-state area, in the state of New Jersey. And I am praying that I won't be the last. You know, I am just trying to be inspiration and motivation, and God is using me to lay out the platform for what he's called many of us to do. So I'm just here to serve, and I have a plethora of things that I've done. But currently, that is what I am doing online as well as inside Livingston Mall. I am just being a beacon of hope and God's promise.
Okay. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it was wonderful having you, because there's really nothing more to say. No.
Let me see your shirt. Let me see your shirt. What you got on? Let me see your shirt.
God is great.
Yeah, God is great. Woo, woo.
You know what I mean? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. For the culture. Shout out to my brother that's in the building,
yes,
baby
for the
bro.
Culture.
Listen. So, I wanna get to this point right here. So I was going through your social media page, and I saw a quote. It was a post. I'm assuming that you were in high school, and it says, my presence made a difference, so my absence will make a bigger difference, right? I just thought that with you being in high school at the time, to say that kind of, it set the tone for the path that you took on your life, right?
Right.
So talk to me about like where that sense of service, that sense of ministry, that sense of wanting to be, you know, like you said, a beacon of light. Like it has to come from a place. Like talk about where that place comes from.
When I wrote that quote, I actually forgot that I wrote that. You know, as we're developing and as we're evolving and as we're growing, I think that early on in our lives, all of us, I believe that God has spoken to us in many ways, whether it's through someone, something that someone may have said to us, something that we may have shared an experience or whatever with someone. I think there's always been some type of inkling of where the trajectory of our lives were taking us. And I honestly believe if God showed me in advance where he was trying to take me, I probably would have ran. Right? And I did some running for quite some time because even as a young child, as a little girl, I knew that there was something really powerful about me, but I shied away from it because sometimes when you're confident, people take it as you're cocky or that you're conceited or that you think you're bigger than or whatever. So sometimes we find ourselves shrinking and trying not to be because of what other people or how they're making us feel based on how they feel about themselves. So at a very young age, I wanted to do something powerful. I was always ambitious and I was always aggressive and I was always speaking my mind. I was never afraid to step out, you know, and just be the different person or be different and do things that people were just not doing or were afraid to do. So I think when someone sent that to me, I believe it was last year, I didn't even know how they found that picture. That was in my yearbook. Someone screenshot that and sent it to me on Messenger, on Facebook, and it blew me away. I started laughing because I was like, oh my God, look at my hair. What was I wearing? It was just the funniest thing. But I found it to be so powerful. I was like, wow, even then I had insight. But as a young girl, you don't really embrace that because people around you are not embracing it or kind of like helping you to develop it because everybody's into doing what they're own, you know, what they're doing. So it was just a powerful experience for me to even see that, you know, and see that I wrote that at such a young age. And I reposted it as a reminder to myself of who I always wanted to be or who I felt like I was.
Now, what high school was that? Are you a Jersey girl through and
I
through?
am a Jersey girl. I went to West Orange High School, but I graduated from Columbia High School.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So and your parents, you know, you say you love reggae. Does that mean that your parents are Caribbean?
I'm Haitian. Jacques
So
Passe, Naboule. I got married in Jamaica though.
Nabule. Okay, so you know, it's called the West Indies. Like it's not just
The
the
West Indies,
one
yes.
Indie. West Indies
Yes, it's only one
is a
Indie. Right.
blanket. You
Correct.
know? So what was that experience like coming up with Haitian parents?
Oh, honey.
In
Haitian parents do not encourage you to do anything other than, back then, it's different now. Doctor, nurse, lawyer. What was the other thing? Doctor, nurse, lawyer. Yeah, those are pretty much the three things that you were allowed to be, you know, that you wanted to be or aspired to be. Those were the things that people considered, you know, to be successful. To be an entrepreneur was not it. My mom always encouraged me though, because I remember I did modeling when I was younger. She encouraged some of the things that I wanted to do, but of course, when she became a single parent, it became a little bit harder for her. You know, so growing up as a Caribbean young lady has been dope. You know, all the food, the culture, the being able to speak a different language, just being able to embrace, you know, different music like compa and being able to just be different, you know, because I got teased, you know, Haitian booty scratcher or like go back to your country or your clothes never match or whatever it was. And now everybody wants to be Caribbean. Everybody wants to listen to culture music. Everybody wants to be like, oh, my girlfriend or my grandparent or whatever. You know how we do now. It wasn't cool to be from the islands or be Haitian when you were younger, you know, but I embraced it and I'm still embracing it. And it, you know, it's at the forefront of everything that I do.
We went through the same thing, my brothers and I. Like I said, I mentioned earlier, we all you know, we're Guyanese, GT Bana. So, you know, every now and then it was a African booty scratcher, that type of joke. But now everybody, yo, I got Indian in my family. My great uncle was born then, you know, so they embrace it. But for all the West Indians that's in the chat now, big up yourself, big up yourself,
big up yourself, right? Right.
All right, so I wanna get to your. I read where God is great. I agree, which also means amen, right? Yes. So this is not your first venture in entrepreneurialism. Right. And they have an old saying. I don't know if Americans know. If at first you don't succeed, try and try again.
Pick yourself and try again. Pick yourself up and try again. Yeah.
Did you have any other intertwinings with fashion before this? I know you said you were a model, but were you a model? Yes. Were you a fashion designer? Like what
no,
other?
I wasn't a fashion designer. No, I went to modeling school. I did a lot of like print work and fashion shows, and I worked in television, and I also worked in radio. So I used to always go, when I worked at J Records, I was in charge of picking up clothing for some of the artists, you know, when they were doing their photo shoots and when they were going to like award shows or doing interviews. So that was one of my jobs as an intern first, and then I landed that as a job at J Records. But I remember being a young kid and wanting to be in fashion or just swag out my fashion, because as a Caribbean young girl, you weren't allowed to really do certain things. And my parents couldn't afford, you know, expensive clothing. So I used to cut up everything to kind of switch it and swag it out however it would make it different or make it look like it wasn't regular. You know, I hated regular clothing. So prior to God is Great and putting God is Great, you know, and making it a brand, I used to wear and sell shirts with my name on it, with my website, IamLUNIC.com. And I used to actually sell them, you know, and I used to sell clothes, bracelets, jewelry in college. Anything that I could get my hands on, I was selling because I needed to pay for books and I needed to feed myself, you know?
I think a lot of us have those similar stories.
Yes.
You know, unfortunately, but fortunate, because that builds a lot of character.
Fortunately, because it actually taught me and prepared me.
Absolutely. So now you mentioned that you were in media. Talk about that experience and how that kind of prepared you for where you are now.
I believe that everything that we've been through, you know, is a preparation and a stepping stone and some groundwork for what's ahead. You know, sometimes we look at it like, oh, why am I doing this? We may complain about things, or we may try to figure out why am I here, or upset that God has placed us in certain positions where we have to humble ourselves. And I've been in humbling experiences. My first, I dated an artist, I won't say who he is, a long time ago. And I traveled around the world. I learned a lot from him. I was on some of his music. And I always loved the facet of just entertainment, period. You know, and then I later became just fascinated with just being around artists and artist development and stuff like that. So I actually managed a few artists in that process, you know, just introducing them to different people, putting them on platforms, getting them shows, making sure that they were in the studios, helping them to develop like their music. And that was really an awesome process for me. And then later I decided that I wanted to go into radio and television. So I became an intern for Clive Davis at J Records, where he had Alicia Keys, Luther Vandross, Busta Rhymes. There was quite Angie Stone. There was quite a few artists on his, you know, on that record label. Listen. That was quite an experience. Mario was also on there. Quite a few artists. So I traveled with them. I did a lot of dope things.
Okay, so I just this is the segment of the show, right? Where when people floss, right? This is the dentist office segment of the show, because you just flossed and you just were talking like you were at, you know, there's a scene with Spike Lee and he's just like, yo, in Do the Right Thing. Right. No, not Do the Right Thing. School Days, where they go to Roy Rogers and he's just like, yo, the girl says white meat or black meat. white meat or dark meat? He said dark meat. She said, we don't have no dark meat.
Dark
He
meat?
said, what the hell you asking for? But like you just said it like, yo, you know what? I worked with Clive Davis, and it was Busta Rhymes and Angie. Like you just said it, so you flossed so effortlessly,
so funny.
And for that reason, you get to, you just said it like it was nothing. Like I was
It
interning
was
for
my
Clive
life.
Davis.
It's what I did. It was what I did, and I did it. I mean, it was part of my life. And I also was Whoopi Goldberg's intern at KTU when she was on Wake Up with Whoopi.
Time out, because now you going too far, right? So
No,
check this out.
I'm just sharing.
No, I'm playing. So my next question
Yes.
was going to be that I saw a picture of you and Whoopi Goldberg, and I'm just the beautiful Whoopi Goldberg, because everybody got their opinion. I think she's beautiful.
Yes. Inside and out.
What type of alien do you have to be from Jersey with Haitian parents, to get the opportunity, to work with the beautiful, talented, trailblazing Whoopi Goldberg? What was that experience like?
It was absolutely amazing. I was in college at Montclair State University, majoring in broadcasting and television. I'm a journalist. That's the world that I used to be in. And during class, my professor was like, "Hey, I have this awesome internship from an awesome person," but he never said who it was. And I was like, "Ooh, me!" I was excited. I was just happy to just be there, and I was just ready to just jump in and just do stuff. And he was like, "All right," nobody else raised their hand, so I was the only one. Everybody was kind of like was hesitant. He goes, "Okay, LUNIC, come see me, come talk to me." And he goes, "You know what? Let me just tell you right now in front of the class." He said that the internship is for Whoopi Goldberg at Wake Up with Whoopi on KTU, and you got it. It's yours. But you do have to go and do the preliminary introduction and stuff like that. Hopefully they'll like you. But at the end of the day, if you make a great impression, the job is yours. And that's pretty much how it happened. But there was a kicker to that, too, because I had to wake up every day at like 2 o'clock in the morning, be in the city at 4, on the air at 5 a.m., leave the station by 8:20, be in class by 10 a.m., till 8 o'clock at night, still do my work at Montclair State University, and show up the next day. So, So interns nowadays, I don't know what they're doing.
So you really are an alien. That's some alien shit right there. Pardon me for cursing. You're an alien. That's real alien. And that's alien shit. So we're gonna fast forward, because I'm just so curious to know, how did God is Great come about? Yeah. What was the moment where God is Great was birthed?
2016. After I got married, I was in Jamaica, and right before we left, I was like, I would love to make some money while I'm sleeping, and I'm just trying to think of ways that I can start a business, because I'm an entrepreneur by heart, and I never enjoyed working for people. I probably had like 50 jobs, and I never stayed at any job more than 6 months. The only job I've ever stayed at longer than 6 months was working at St. Barnabas, because I was in school and I had my own office, and they allowed me to do my homework and study. And Channel 9 News was my second longest job, working for Fox and My 9 News. I did stay there because I loved it there. That's what I majored in. So that was part of like why I decided to do that. But Channel 9 decided that they were going to do a slew of layoffs, and they were shifting everybody from the station from My 9 News in Secaucus to New York City. And I just I didn't feel that I needed to do that transition. Everybody was like, "You're crazy. That's the job." I was like, I'm just not feeling it. I went back to radio, went to bartending, left bartending, and I was like, what am I going to do now? And then I started cleaning bathrooms, because I was trying to figure life out, and I knew that what I wanted to do just wasn't happening at the time, and I still needed to make money, and I still needed to figure out. And I'm a hustler by nature. Like, there's nothing that I won't do to get to where I'm trying to go. So certain people won't humble themselves. I'm talking about going from being an intern and working in television, being on television, cleaning, doing everything, to cleaning bathrooms, to Uber driving. I forgot I was an Uber driver too for 4 months. because I was trying to figure life out, and I love being around people, and I humbled myself in a way. I wasn't at the cleaning bathrooms. It wasn't like I was literally cleaning bathrooms, but the job required me to clean bathrooms, and I didn't mind it. That's why running my business and being here and doing God is great, and everything that I need to do will be done. So then I was like, you know what? Somebody told me that if I put dimes and fill it in a Pepsi jar, that I would be able to get $500. And at the time, I had depleted all of my money. I had done some traveling, and I had did everything that I wanted to do. And I was like, oh, my God, I have no more money left. So I jumped in an Uber, started Uber driving. And then what else did I do? I started cleaning the gym. I was cleaning a gym. I would be the only one cleaning an entire gym at night, at midnight, till 5 in the morning. And I did that, and I would listen to, like, motivational speeches like I would listen to T.D. Jakes, I would listen to E.T., I would listen to Tony Robbins, and they would allow me to put my headphones in the speaker, so all over the whole gym I would be there by myself, and I would be listening to the stuff, and it would literally be feeding me, and I knew like I needed to be doing something great. So God is Great Apparel was actually birthed by me selling a couple of scarves first, messing up the re-up money, getting some more money, working, took that money, bought some mugs, and put God is Great on it. And I started selling them. People started asking me for it. Then I messed up the re-up money again. So I worked and saved up some more money. And then I went and got me some T-shirts.
Yo, shout out to you for messing up the re-up money.
Messing up the re-up money.
Now, there's a picture here that I love, right? It
so
says,
I said, are you a Libra? No, I'm a Sagittarius.
It says respect the journey, right?
Listen.
And a lot of people, like all the bumps and the valleys, like the peaks are great, but a lot of people don't respect and appreciate the valleys, because my estimation, the valleys make you appreciate the peaks even more.
Without a doubt.
So shout out to you for messing up the re-up money, because we all been there.
But it was necessary.
Absolutely. Legally, of course. Yeah. But, for those of you who are doing it legally, God bless you too.
Right.
Because
no,
I
but
understand.
You know what? I'm going to tell you, I did that too. The only thing that's different now is the product. The hustle is still the same. The mindset of getting the bread and making sure that there's food on the table, that has not changed, right? But the difference is I'm humbled now. I have more under my belt. I got a lot of tools in my box, and the product is different. Like now it's being glorified. It's on a whole nother platform. I don't have to watch my back. I don't have to be scared. I don't have to watch out for the police. I have to wonder if, they're going to find what's in the trunk of my car. They're going to find the suitcases on the airplane. I don't have to worry about that no more.
You mentioned being a bartender, and that was my introduction to you. I remember going to a place in South Orange, Papillons, for anybody who's never been there. It's black owned. Make sure you check it out.
Shout out to Papillon 25. That helped me out a lot when I left Channel 9 News.
AKA Martini Bar. So, and I always remember you being, I just want to shout out real quick, my man Alonzo Cumberland, 1988 freshman class. Alonzo, I appreciate you checking in. Will, I appreciate you checking in. I appreciate everybody that's here on this live as I'm talking to the great LUNIC, the messenger, AKA the creator, CEO of God is Great Apparel. Make sure you follow I am LUNIC, the messenger, and make sure you follow God is Great Apparel. Make sure you follow at the TKB Report and subscribe to the TKB Report YouTube channel.
Yes.
So I remember seeing you as a bartender, and even back then, I never really knew you. I mean, we've had casual conversations in passing.
Yes.
But your energy was always extremely radiant. It was always extremely positive. And, I always said people who smile a lot and are always positive have had some of the craziest stories, And just from listening to what you described, the things that you went through, I kind of understand now why not only did you serve drinks, but you serve positivity, you serve smiles, you serve, you serve goodness to anybody who came through there. And a lot of people, they don't come there just for the drinks. You can get drinks anywhere. You can get drinks in your own house.
Exactly.
I mean, this is water, but it's the people and the energy that make people come back. So you have been through quite a bit. God is great is birthed out of you going
being
through a struggle.
Obedient.
Being
obedient too. Being obedient too, because I think this was my pathway to developing my ministry, if you will. Because I said, God, how do I serve the public? You know, how do I minister? How do I feed the homeless? How do I do this nonprofit thing and still be able to pay the bills and do whatever? So I did fast. I fasted. I asked God, what's next? You know, it's important that we go to the Creator and say, what is next? What do you want me to do? Because every time I do my will, I mess it all up. Every time I do what I want to do, I find myself in a struggle, like playing tug of war. I find myself diminishing. I find myself losing everything. And I've done that to a point where there was, if I told you guys that in 2017, I had an eviction notice on my door, you wouldn't believe me. And it's 2021. That was just like yesterday.
4 years ago was exactly 1,460 days ago. Shout out to my pops, rest in peace, because he was a math wizard, you know. But it's amazing. It's amazing how it's something that you said recently, how trusting the process carries you so far. Talk about your faith, talk about your trust in the process, and talk about your resiliency that has led you to this very point.
I think one of the biggest things that's led me to this point, and I can't take credit for all of it, but I believe it was surrendering to the process. It was to surrendering to that I did not have control of the outcome and what God had laid before me, right? And God is great. I am living proof is the quote on the shirt. God is great is the brand, right? And the I am living proof part, I don't know if you even know that I am a recovering addict.
Didn't know that.
Right. You know now, and everybody else knows. I've shared this story. I've gotten on a 31 bus and I testified. It's part of my story. I share it on the pulpit. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a preacher. I shared this because I'm not ashamed of it. I'm actually excited that I was able to have such a tumultuous, situation that propelled me to be who and where I am today. So trusting the process, being consistent, admitting that I had no control, admitting that I had lost control. I've been sleeping in my car. I was held up at gunpoint. I've been through it all. I can't even tell you. We ain't got enough time to share this story. Mm-hmm. But I am living proof that there is, hope and life after addiction. There is life and hope after domestic violence. There is life and hope after losing everything. And I think the only thing that I didn't lose was my mind.
Okay.
And just being able to stay afloat and finding a sense of peace and finding recovery got me here. And just being consistent, being resilient, not giving up, believing in myself, fighting and to the grit, crawling, crying, all of that, asking for help, admitting that I didn't know how, hold on one second. Isaac, thank you so much. I just want to say bye to, I love you. I'll call you later.
She's a boss. She's a boss, ladies and gentlemen. 24 hours a day.
I'm here at the store. So, and it's the end of the night. And I just didn't want to not do this interview. I really wanted to show up.
I appreciate
I would.
I appreciate you
but
so
just
much.
resilience, man. Showing up, not giving up on me, betting on myself, believing in me, fighting a good fight. Every time I felt like, I couldn't do it, I just kept showing up. I kept showing up and hoping something different would happen, hoping that the light bulb would come on one day, and God knows I didn't dream up this store. God knows that this was not part of my plan. I said, God, let your will be done in my life. I just pray that I can just do what it is that you've called me to do, and may you be pleased with my efforts.
Okay, so I feel like this should be like a 30-part series, and that we should edit it and put it on Netflix, because this is
Right.
definitely a story that needs to be seen by the masses. So I have a scenario that I keep trying to make on the show, and it never comes out the way that I intended, right? So
Okay, let's go.
it's about agriculture. It's about agriculture, right? So
Yeah.
God made dirt, and in order for things to grow in that dirt that God made, you got to fertilize it with something. And that thing
Absolutely.
we have to fertilize it with, is not something that we all enjoy being around, talking about, and all of that,
Yes.
experiencing. But if you want things to grow, you got to fertilize it with some shit. You know what I'm
You
saying?
gotta
So
fertilize it,
all the
baby.
shit, the stuff that you've gone through in your life,
Yeah.
it prepares you and it fertilizes, and that's where you grow.
Yes.
So when you put shit and dirt together with seeds and till the soil and all that, something amazing grows depending on what you plant. So if you plant onions, that's what you're going to get. If you plant negativity, that's what you're going to get. If you plant positivity and change, that's what you're going to get. So, that's a true testament to you going through what you've gone through and coming out on the other side based off of the seeds that you started to plant once you realized that you needed to do something different.
Right.
So I applaud you for that, and that's absolutely amazing. And I'm glad that you came out of it in the way that you did, because not only did you come out of it and benefit yourself, your story is going to be beneficial to others for many, many moons to come. So I applaud you and I salute you for all of that, because I didn't know any of that about you. So moving forward, so now you mentioned the store. You mentioned that God is Great started with a couple of scarves and a couple of mugs, and then
$48 in change in a change jar, because it never made $500. I took that 48 dimes, never took it to Coinstar, and was like, what am I going to do with this?
So you started an online business.
Yes.
So talk about how that process played itself out.
Well, I started out the trunk of my car, and every festival, my friends, I posted on social media.
Wow.
I never really started online. It was literally me folding. Instagram was a platform. I literally would lay the T-shirts out and fold them nicely in my bedroom or on the floor in the kitchen or in the bed, wherever. And I was taking pictures and I would post them on social media. And people were like, oh my God, I love that. Where can I get it? I didn't say it was available or anything like that. I just started taking pictures in it because it wasn't really available. It was just 12 shirts that I bought, gave one to a friend of mine, took some pictures. And he was like, I was like, no, you could keep it. Just, whatever, take the pictures, post it. And I was doing house music festivals and stuff like that. But I bought 12, then I bought 12 more, then I bought 24. 24 turned into, 2 dozen, 3 dozen. And then someone hit me up on social media one day and said, hey, where can I get this? I'm in Africa. I was like, what? And somebody else said, hey, I'm in India.
Wow.
So how can I get this shirt? And I was like, I don't know, but let me try to figure it out. So that kind of was the reason and what propelled me to try to figure out the online store, because I didn't know anything about setting an online store up. I didn't Google it. I just, was like, okay, I started asking questions. And I think a lot of times, people want to do things and they're afraid to ask other people for help. I'm not one of those people. I will ask for help. Knock and the door shall be opened unto you. Seek and ye shall find. You know what I'm saying? So I believe in those things wholeheartedly. So I knocked and I seeked and I asked and I said, hey, you know how to do this? Show me how to do that. And I kid you not. And I remember I tried it and I was so overwhelmed. I was like, they lied to me because the website was like, you could do it in 15 minutes. So I'm like, okay, 15 minutes. I was like, that is a lot. So what I did do, though, I took all my pictures and stuff like that, but I didn't really know what I was doing. And I remember I told everybody I'm going to be launching, Thanksgiving night in 2017. I said, I'm launching. I'm excited. I want you guys to get ready. Let me try to tell you something. I ain't have nothing ready. But I figured if because I'm a commitment person, if I make the commitment, once I tell you, I know that you're going to hold me to it. So you guys and everybody on social media and all my friends and my family were my accountability partners, whether y'all knew it or not. Because people were like, hey, when did you say it's coming out? Oh, I can't wait. And they were reposting my stuff and saying what I was saying. I was like, oh, I got to get to work now, right? So I went and bought a bunch of shirts. I think it was like maybe 60 shirts at the time after I had got a couple of things, right? And so I went online, and somebody was like, you got to hook up your store to Shopify or e-commerce. I was like, wait, what? So I called the place, and they helped me figure it out. And so I set up the store. But I wanted to launch it at like that 8 o'clock or that midnight time that I said, right? So I was able to do that, but I didn't know what I was doing. So I told everybody, get ready, 30 more minutes. So I'm on the phone with, I said tonight at 8. Get ready, get ready. So I called Shopify. I was like, nothing's happening. It's not working. I traveled to North Carolina the day before that. We were Thanksgiving weekend. I went to see my in-laws. And I called Shopify. And this is when Shopify used to sit on the phone with you for hours. And you didn't have to get a PIN number first. So I called Shopify, and this lady was like, hey, I was telling her my story. She goes, what's your website? Because you got to give them all the back end information. Yeah. I gave her the information. She says, oh, my God, you're the young lady, I am LUNIC, the messenger from New Jersey. And I was like, wait, what? She was wow. I know. She said, I saw your post online. Oh, my God, you finally decided to do an online store. She says, I'm originally from Jersey, but I live in Virginia now. And she goes, okay. I said, listen, I don't know what I'm doing, but I told people I'm launching at 8 o'clock. I need your help. She goes, okay, I'm going to walk you through it. Turn your laptop on, blah, blah, blah. This lady sat on the phone with me for 3 hours. I kid you not. She said, I got you. She says, I love what you do because I used to do a lot of motivational and inspirational. I used to go live and stuff like that. She goes, I follow you. You're such an inspiration and blah, blah. And I said, what? God is great.
I agree.
And I could not believe it. And then my sister-in-law, she was like, oh, my God, did she just really say that? I was like, yes. So everybody could hear because I had her on speakerphone because I was trying to really figure out my life.
Yeah.
She says, I got you. I'm going to need you to upload the pictures. I upload the pictures. This lady was putting everything in place. She told me what the prices and this and that. And let me tell you something. Where there is vision, there is provision. This lady really she was God sent. I'm trying to tell you. That's how it happened. November 2017, Thanksgiving weekend, this lady sat on the phone with me. And then as soon as I launched, I think like 10 minutes later, I had like 4 sales. I was so excited. Shout out to Tanisha Malcolm, who was my first customer. Like, it was so exciting to see I remember who it was. Like, she's my girlfriend, but she bought 2 sweatshirts for me. And I was just like so souped that I was just so excited. And I was like, oh, my God, I think I got something.
Yeah.
So then the order started coming in. A couple of friends was buying. And then, I woke up to like $600 in my thing. And I was like,
it's a beautiful feeling.
God, and that's how the online store was birthed, honestly. That's what happened. So if there's anybody out there who's thinking about doing something, don't talk yourself out of it. Tell the world, but don't tell them too much. Find yourself some accountability partners, people that's going to hold you to it. Set some dates, write it down, make it plain, just do it. Don't share it with everybody because everybody's not going to be happy for you. People that's never done anything is not going to be able to tell you that you could. They're going to talk you out of it. And I'm going to tell you something, too. Everybody's not going to be happy for you. Everybody's not going to support you. Everybody's not going to be, all thrilled that you figured out your life or you're trying to do something with your life. They're not going to be happy. They're going to think you're crazy because they've never done anything. Or if they did something, it didn't work. So they're going to try to talk you out of it. I'm going to tell you something. I love my mom to pieces, but she's very cautious about everything. I told my mom about my grand opening for this store 5 hours before the grand opening. My mama that I love a lot.
And I think a lot of Caribbean parents.
What are you doing? Save your money. You're like, be cautious. Don't go outside. Why are you going outside? It's COVID. I was like, I never told her. The whole time, 14 days it took me to put the store together. I never said a word. She's like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm at work. What are you doing? And then I called her. I didn't even call her. I made my best friend call. I said, call my mom, text her, tell her I have a surprise for her. to come to the Livingston Mall across from the Gap. That's just how it happened.
Well, listen, hey Lily. So that leads me to the next question. And that story is absolutely amazing. And hold on one second. Hello? There's a representative from Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah, we'll talk after this. I'm gonna call you back. All right.
You're so funny.
So now I'm curious to know, a person who needed the most assistance to start, Mo, what's the deal? To start a online store, right? From selling out the trunk of your car like Master P and most rappers and all that, to creating an online store. How does the opportunity present itself to be in the 5,000 square feet in one of New Jersey's prominent retail spaces?
So a lot of people may or may not know if they're just joining or honestly, I just believe that the foundation was laid. I've done the work. And I believe to whom much is given, much is required, right? So I also believe that this was all God's plan. Like, I couldn't have orchestrated this. I never planned on having a store. I was looking for a warehouse so I could house the online store, so I could come in, work a couple of hours, and do it my way. In 2019, December 8th of 2019, I was granted the opportunity to do a 30-day pop-up as a partnership with Livingston Mall. So I promised a certain amount of people would come through the mall, and this is what I was going to bring to the table, and where can you meet me halfway? I did the 30-day pop-up. It was super, super successful. I didn't have a place to store my stuff. I had everything out the van and in the parking lot, and some stuff was left at home. I literally lived 8 minutes from the mall, though. I'm telling you, people make excuses for what they want because they're not willing to put in the work.
Okay.
So I was willing to put in the work. Stop talking with your mouth, I tell people, and show me action. It's easy to talk. It's easy to yap. It's easy to want. It's easy to believe. It's easy to yakka. Show up. Show me the work ethic. Show me the consistency. And this is what I say to myself every day. What you going to do today, LUNIC, that's going to bring you one step closer to where you're trying to go? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to do? I was like, I'm willing to get up. And these are conversations that I have with myself. I'm willing to get up and do what I need to do. Today, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. Here's my goal. What are the steps? And I just write them down. I pray about it, and I ask God to lead. And I do my best to follow. It's not always perfect, right? So I came to the mall. I spoke to the gentleman. We walked around. We had great conversation. And he said, okay, I'll let you do the 30-day pop-up. We normally don't do stuff like this because you need a kiosk and you got to sign you got to do all this stuff. And I was like, we ain't got that much time.
Yeah.
I didn't want to miss out. I already missed out on Black Friday. But I didn't really because I had a big birthday party on Black Friday, which is my birthday, and I sold my product at my birthday party. But he said, okay, how long do you need it? A week? I said, 30 days. He said, 30 days? I was like, okay. He said, yes. Signed some a contract or whatever.
Yeah.
And I pretty much did not sleep for 30 days. I was coffee. I ate from the food court. My husband works, a full-time job. He did the morning shift. I did the evening shift. I called on family, friends, nieces, whoever to help me. My friends jumped in. Shout out to everybody who jumped in and helped me sell hoodies, sell T-shirts, sell dad hats, sell blazers, jackets. We was upstairs selling everything. And every week I literally was trying to keep up. It didn't look like it, but I think just the fact that I was here in the mall, people were coming to see. Some people were just coming to be nosy. Some was coming to support. Some was really coming to show me love and give me what it is that I needed. I would take pictures, video. I would go live a lot. And I was including the people because I felt like it was communal and it was important to me. After that happened, I was like, okay, this happened. Great. Moved on with my life. And then I signed up for Essence Fest and you know the rest. COVID happened.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, COVID happened, but they actually offered me a store 10 days before the kiosk. But I wasn't ready because I was like, I don't hear. That's not what I hear God saying.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, a
That's
store? I
big.
don't know. Yeah, so, but it was like a little store. It's a little store upstairs from where I am now. Literally, I could see the store that they offered me from where I am. I'm in the store now. And long story short, I decided, after the car accident in June, I didn't know what was going to happen. SSFest got canceled. I was in a fetal position for a few months. And
Wow.
in October, I started feeling a little bit better. I said, babe, I think we should go back to the mall and see if we could do this kiosk again. Why not? So I came here, and the lady was like, oh, my God, you had so many great reviews. You're LUNIC. It's so nice to meet you. I heard you cause hysteria up in here. You da-da-da-da, whatever. And I was able to email some of the pictures and stuff after to say thank you, for allowing me to do this, etc. And she said, you did such an amazing job. Why don't you do your pop-up in a store, inside of a store? And I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. But if I set the store up, I'm not going to want to leave because I know I really want to make it look, look nice. So one thing led to another. She showed me a couple places. I didn't feel it. I came up with a million excuses why this wouldn't make sense. And then she said, why don't you just take one of the stores? And I was like, who said that? She made me a deal and offer that I could not refuse.
Yeah.
She was like, I don't know why, but I feel like I want to do something special for you. Shout out to Val, and that's really how it happened. She goes, I have a surprise for you. I'm going to show you one last store, and you tell me what you think. And she brought me into this place, and I was like, this is it. This is it.
The rest is history, as they say.
That's how it happened, just like that.
I had no clue what that was. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to understand that my normal process is to email questions, have the guest go over their questions for their show, and then she was insistent. She said, nope, I don't want to read anything. I want to just... And I'm glad that it kind of happened that way because, this story is truly amazing, and it sounds like, a movie. And that really was Netflix who called. You are the ultimate inspiration. Like, you're the ultimate prayer warrior. You're the ultimate minister. You're the ultimate guiding light. And I just want to get confirmation that at some point in the near future, I can have you back on your show so that we can have more conversation and inspire more people, because, we've taken up quite a bit of time and quite a bit of good time not wasted, telling your story. How many black people get led around Livingston Mall? How many black people get led around Livingston, period, without cuffs on, at some point or the other? And you were able to go to Livingston Mall, have a pop-up shop with no kiosk or whatever, and then they offer you a store. Not only a store, 5,000 square feet. I don't know if any of them other stores that have been there for years get 5,000 square feet. But that is just a true testament of how great God is. And so are you.
So are you.
Nah, not me, as they say. So, ladies and gentlemen, listen. I know that y'all want to hear more, and I would love to hear more as well. But before this thing cut off, I just need to end this on this note. From listening to your story, I live by 3 keys. So the TKB report is called the 3 Keys brand report. 3 Keys brand was created by myself, my younger brother, and one of our fallen soldiers. But what the 3 keys stand for is recognize your past, acknowledge your present, and work towards your future. And from listening to what I've heard thus far and from what everybody has heard, that's exactly how you live your life. And that's exactly how you landed in a space in Livingston Mall, 5,000 square feet. And I just see it getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So
pray for me, y'all.
every day from now on, that's exactly what will happen.
Yes.
But with that being said, I just want to thank you for being on your show, because this show was all about you. I want to thank everybody that came out to enjoy your show, you know. And for those of you who are new, make sure you follow I Am LUNIC, the messenger. On Instagram. Make sure you follow God is Great Apparel on Instagram. And if you want to support, tell them where they can find you.
I am at Livingston Mall. The store is called God is Great Apparel. We are on the ground floor on the Sears wing. I'm across from the Gap, and I'm also right between Finish Line and Windsor. So if the second set of escalators on the opposite side of the mall, opposite of Macy's, is where I am. You guys, I'm here on Instagram. I'm here on Facebook as well. You can follow me. I am LUNIC, the messenger. You guys see it here. You could tap into this link. And also, God is Great Apparel is my Instagram. Guys, mall hours is our hours. So Livingston Mall in Livingston, New Jersey. We've got some great stuff. And this weekend, we are launching our spring line. And I'm really excited about it. It is a unisex store. We sell things for men and women. Our kids' clothing line is coming, I think, next month, fingers crossed, if not by the summer. It is a demand. I'm hoping that I can meet the demand. And I'm just excited, and I promised myself that I'm going to grant more interviews. I just really haven't been able to find the time because this is very demanding. So, yes, that's pretty much it.
I don't think you're ever going to know how appreciative I am that you granted me the opportunity to have this conversation with you. This encounter has brought goodness and joy to my life, and I'm pretty sure anyone who has joined the live and those who will see this in the future is going to really, really take from this and gain from this. So, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, everybody. I don't know who's all here, but I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Pieces. And I pray I see you all soon.
I am Mr. Three Keys, and this is her show, LUNIC the Messenger, and you have just been tuned in. Thank you all for coming out. God bless. Peace.